This is broken sides and doors. This pen has had so much abuse. It took 6 months to build, and jackasses with trucks and other things ripped down this wall, and I just patched it back together as best I could quickly so that I could put the animals back inside. Then they ripped down this wall. And they ripped apart the inner pens, which is these pieces that were all screwed and bolted together. And that's where the end of it was. They damaged so many pieces. And all of this wall, not only did it have a post, not only did it have posts in the ground, 2 feet in the ground, so there's no way the wind did this. And it was torn down from right there, the first one past the post. All of this was torn down. As you see, it's just kind of patched together. It had 3 barrels, 3 of the blue barrels that were filled with water and tied to the fencing. Now, all these other areas that have no securing like that whatsoever, if it was the wind would have took those other areas down. Did not touch them. Only this section was ripped apart. I have this way because we lost about 12 of the panels. And so I had a gap where I didn't have pieces to stick in there. And as you see, these are just held together just as a patch-up job. But they took down, this is a 120-foot pen. About a good 60 feet of this pen was destroyed. That still needs to be repaired and replaced. And then this is more recent, where they tore this down and tore this inner pen. You can see part of it on this side and part of it on this side. It was a circular pen that went across like that, from there all the way around to there, and that was ripped to pieces. And this entrance was ripped out. And then over here, this is still most of the original done. This has extra supports on it. This section right here is another area that they tore open. And I just put braces up against it. Here's several of the pieces from the other side that got torn down, where the wood is just trashed. Entire sides, I mean, big chunks of wood busted out. There's about 12 panels that are destroyed that we can't reuse. This whole section has been torn down. This was the last police report we filed. These pieces were bolted together. There's no way that they fell down. And what's more, if they had, the wind would have blown down the lightweight plastic and not the heavy pieces of wood that were put together in an L shape. And each one of these are 80 pounds. So we would have had to knock over 300 pounds of wood, 2 going this way and 3 going this way on each side, that were all bolted together. And the fencing part has no weight to it, as well as the corner pieces, which were all attached. And as you see, they were ripped out. The screws were ripped out. If you look. So no, that wasn't accidental. That was human. There's no way. And the day that it was done, I had the sheriffs out to file a report. The wind was blowing the opposite direction. It was blowing towards the east, not towards the west, where this was torn down towards the west. And again, these lightweight containers, we've been using them for the chickens to get in and out, would have been blown over long before these would have been blown over, or they would have all been blown over together if it was a gust that strong enough to do that much damage. So it's all bullshit. This was all intentional. But I'm going to spend this week, my back was injured, so I had to let it sit just as it is. These pieces of wood I take when I chop down the bushes and things on the property. I throw the whole bush in. The animals eat all they want, the goats. Then I take all these smaller pieces and bundle them for kindling. So I'll come collect that all up in a wheelbarrow, and that will all get bundled for kindling in the fire pits, fireplaces, whatever we need to use them for. Somebody, when they also tore that down, just, I don't know what they used to break all this wood up. But none of this was broken up. This was solid pieces and solid slats. So just a lot of foolishness, a lot of ugliness, continually causing us a tremendous amount of extra work that needs to be dealt with and addressed. As you see, the new camera is facing this direction. And I'm adding 2 more cameras too to this section to stop this stupid crap.